Welcome to IELTS preparation course, video number 8, titled General Training, Writing Section, Task 2, Essay Writing. Moving on to IELTS General Training Writing Task 2, Essay Writing. In Task 2, you are expected to produce a written argument or discussion essay on a given topic and organize your answer clearly, giving some examples to support your point. You have to write at least 250 words. IELTS essays can be: number 1, opinion essays; number 2, discussion essays; number 3, advantage and disadvantage essays; number 4, direct question essays; number 5, solution essays, which can be divided into problem solution essay, cause-effect essay, cause-solution essay, and solution-only essay. Moving on to the essay format, which will be in the form of a 4 or 5 paragraph essay. And first, we need to know what we mean by a thesis statement. A thesis statement comes in the form of 1, 2, or 3 sentences, summarize the main point or the main idea of an essay. It identifies the topic being discussed for a specific audience. Now, and moving on to the essay format, which consists of 3 main parts. Let's get started with the first part, which is the introduction. And here in the introduction, you have 3 things to do. Number 1, rewrite the statement given in your own words using other synonyms. And the statement given is known as background statement. Number 2, state if you agree or disagree, and then mention 2 or 3 points or reasons, supporting them with examples, and this will be your thesis statement. Number 3, you can start your thesis statement with I agree or I disagree with that, and then mention 2 or 3 reasons or points using, in my opinion, from my point of view, I believe that, and then mention that 2 or 3 reasons or points. Moving on to the second part of an essay, which is the body. And the body should consist of 2 or 3 paragraphs discussing the 2 or 3 points you have mentioned in your thesis. For example, the first paragraph should start with point number 1, which will be the topic sentence of the first paragraph, and after that you need to support point number 1 with 3 reasons or examples. The second paragraph should start with point number 2, which will be the topic sentence of the second paragraph, and after that you need to support point number 2 with 3 reasons or examples. The third paragraph should start with point number 3 that you have mentioned in your thesis, and point number 3 will be the topic sentence of the third paragraph, and after that you need to support it with 3 reasons or examples. Moving on to the third part of an essay, which is the conclusion. And in the conclusion, you need to summarize or paraphrase what you have mentioned over the entire essay. It should be a repetition for your introduction, but in other words or synonyms. And you can start your conclusion using to conclude, to sum up, in the end, finally, in short, or in conclusion. Moving on to making a draft or an outline for your essay based on brainstorming for generating ideas, you can use listing method, and as you see here, you can start with writing the main idea, which equals the background statement, and next write down point number 1 and then support it with 3 reasons or examples, and then move on to point number 2, write it down and then support it with 3 reasons or examples. Do the same to point number 3, write it down and then support it with 3 reasons or examples. In the end, and after you accomplish or finish your draft, start writing what you have mentioned more fully in your essay. Moving on to transitional words and phrases to help you organize your writing. For sequence, you can use first or firstly, second or secondly, third or thirdly, fourth or fourthly. For consequence, you can use as a result, consequently, thus, hence, so. For adding points, you can use furthermore, moreover, in addition, as well as this, as well as these. For expressing contrast, you can use although, however, but, while, unlike, despite, despite of. For adding examples, you can use for example, for instance. For giving reasons, you can use because of, as, that, to, so as to, due to, owing to. To provide arguments, you can use in my view, in my opinion, to my mind, I think, I believe. To talk about separate aspects or points, you can use regarding, for, according to, in connection with. To talk about two opposite aspects, you can use on the one hand, on the other hand. To talk about advantages and disadvantages, you can use according to the advantages, according to the disadvantages, for the merits, for the demerits, regarding the ups, regarding the downs. For conclusion expressions, you can use finally, lastly, in the end, at last, in conclusion, to sum up, to conclude. Here is an example of General Training Writing Section Task 2. The task says, mobile phones have changed the way many people communicate. Nowadays, people cannot live without them if they want to be a part of society. To what extent do you think this is true? Why do you think some people have not adapted to this type of communication? Write at least 250 words. Now, you can have a look at the essay and see how it is written, how it is organized. Also, try to focus on number 1, paraphrasing the background statement. Number 2, writing the thesis statement. Number 3, using transitional words and phrases to organize the essay content. Number 4, writing the conclusion which summarizes and paraphrases your thesis statement in other words or synonyms. Here is another example of General Training Writing, Task 2, for writing an essay. The task says, disruptive school students have a negative influence on others. Students who are noisy and disobedient should be grouped together and taught separately. Do you agree or disagree? Give reasons for your answer, including examples from your own experience or knowledge. Write at least 250 words. Now, you can have a look at the essay and see how it is written, how it is organized. Also, try to focus on paraphrasing the background statement, writing the thesis statement, using transitional words and phrases to organize the essay content, writing the conclusion which summarizes and paraphrases your thesis statement in other words or synonyms.